Oh, hi. So it's 2025 and you want to learn how to crochet. So in this video, I'm going to teach you some of the basic skills you'll need to make a little square like this and start your crochet journey. So this little square is something you are making just to learn the basics, but over time, as you improve your skills, you'll be able to make more complicated things like this, or this, or this, or even more bigger things like this. Okay, so let's get to it. First, you're going to need some yarn. Here I have Loops and Threads Soft Classic Acrylic, but really you could use any acrylic yarn. I'm sure you could find some at the dollar store or your local craft store. Highly recommend picking a color you like because crochet is much more fun when you like the yarn you're working with. Next, we have some scissors. These are specifically for fabric. I got these at Michael's. They work really well for yarn, but when I first started crocheting, I actually just got a pair from the dollar store. They work fine too, just if you crochet a lot. I do recommend getting a good pair of scissors. Next, you're going to need a crochet hook. In this tutorial, I'm using a 3.5 millimeter hook. You can get these at the dollar store or again, your local craft store. But I do recommend if you plan on continuing to crochet, you buy like a beginner kit off of Amazon. I think I got one for like $17 and it's been pretty useful to have. Next here, you're going to want a sewing needle to sew in your ends when you're done your project. Again, I would get these at your local craft store or you could order a bunch of them off Amazon. Maybe your local dollar store has them too, I'm not sure. Whatever you do, you want to make sure you get one that doesn't have like a pointy tip. When I first started out, I was using a pointy tip one and it really hurt. There's these duller edged ones that make sewing in your ends a lot more friendly. Okay, so firstly, we're going to do a slip knot. So to do a slip knot, you want to make sure you start over here with your tail end of your yarn. And what you need to do is make a loop. However you get there, make a little loop like this for yourself. And then you're going to take that. And I like to keep my loop closed together by using my thumb and my index finger to hold it. And then I'm going to take my working end yarn, the side where the yarn is coming from, and I pull it through that loop. You want to pull it through until you get this nice little slip knot. That's what it should look like. And it can easily come undone if you just pull both sides like that. Now I'm going to show you how I hold my crochet hook and my yarn. Firstly, we want to put this slip knot on our hook. To do that, you're going to take your slip knot, put it on your hook, and if you have a really loose slip knot like this, you can pull it tight by pulling both ends of your yarn like that. Now that it's on, let's look at holding our yarn. There's many different ways to do it, but this is the way I like to hold my yarn. What we do is we're going to take our working end, wrap it around our pinky, then over our 3 fingers here, and then I'm going to take the yarn again and wrap it around my index finger like that. Again, one more time, over the pinky, wrap around over your 3 fingers, and then over your index finger. The last important trick here is you want to take your middle finger and your thumb, and you want to hold your yarn at the base here where it's attached to your hook, and this will help you maintain tension and keep the yarn from moving too much while you work. To hold your crochet hook, what you want to do is you kind of hold it similar to how you would hold a knife when you're cutting something. So you kind of have your fingers wrapped around it like so, and your index finger at the top. This helps you just get like good mobility and movement as you move it. The more you crochet, I promise, the more used to this you will get. To do a chain stitch, you're going to take your hook, go under that yarn there, and we're turning our hook like this till we have it wrapped into that little crochet hook nook there. I don't know what to call that. And you're going to take that and pull it through that loop we have on our hook. That is one chain. Again, we're going under the yarn like so, turning the crochet hook to kind of grab the yarn and pulling it through. One more time, go under the yarn, turn your crochet hook, grab that yarn and pull it through. I have two quick tips for you while you're doing this if you're finding it difficult. The first is pay attention to how tightly you are pulling things. If you're pulling things too tightly, it might be really hard to get that crochet hook through that tiny little knot you have on your hook. Sometimes maybe it's too big like this and it's really big gap, so you're losing your yarn. Pay attention to how tight you are holding things. It is a fine balance, but over time it will get easier. The next tip I want to tell you is make sure you are holding your chain. When I was starting out, I remember my yarn would go everywhere and it would be really hard to keep it going with the chain. I really suggest to beginners to make sure you check that you're holding this. You can kind of use your index finger and thumb to pull it loose or keep it in position so that while you're working it doesn't get loose. Make sure you're holding this because it's really helpful. I want to help you learn how to count how many chain stitches you do. Look at your stitches and you can kind of see this V pattern taking shape here. When we count our stitches, we want to count each V in the chain. This can take time to learn what you're looking for, but it does get easier with time. Here, I'm going to start by counting this first V. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 V's on my hook, which means I have 10 stitches. I want you to make 11 in total. Now I'm going to show you how to do single crochets into these stitches. That first chain we see is right here on our hook. We're actually going to work into the second chain from our hook to begin. 1, 2, and what you want to do is insert your hook into that top part of the V, or some people like to think of it as the middle of the V. Again, I'll show you one more time here. Insert your hook into the middle or the top part of the V. Once you found that V stitch to insert your hook into, here's how we're going to do a single crochet. You're going to take your yarn, wrap it around your hook just like we did before, and again, make sure you're holding that. Wrap it around your hook, pull it through that V stitch, and now you have 2 loops on your hook. What you want to do here is take your working yarn again, wrap your hook around, and pull through both, just like that. That was our first single crochet. Then you want to go into the next V on your stitch. Here we did 1. Go into your next V, the middle of your stitch or the top V there. Wrap your yarn around, pull it through that first loop. Now we have 2 loops on our hook and pull through both. Continue doing this all the way down. If you need to watch again, go back and rewind, watch it in slow mode, whatever you need, and keep going down. Now you should be done your 10 single crochets into your chain, and it should look something like this. If it's curling or looking like that a little bit, it's okay. That happens. It might be that your tension is just really tight. You can count and double check your stitches by counting your V's. As you can see here, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the last little one is 10. Now we are going to chain 1 into our work. What you want to do is, on your last stitch here that you made, take your hook, just like you would normally do, wrap the yarn around, pull it through that loop once, like so. So that's called a 1 chain stitch. Now we've done our chain 1. What you want to do is turn your work. If you're a little confused, look where your tail end is, right? Okay, you're up here by your tail end. You're going to take your work, turn it. Now we see the other side of our work. And what I want you to do is we're going to single crochet back down our chain. It's a little bit different this time. Again, you're going to skip that first stitch there, that chain stitch that we made, and you're going to work into that second stitch from your hook. What we do for a single crochet now is we're going to insert our hook into that V, kind of going underneath both of those V's, and you should have 2 loops on your hook like that. Again, inserting your hook into that second stitch, and now we'll single crochet just like we did before. Take your yarn, put it over and pull it through both V's there, both of the stitches we had. And now you're going to take this and pull it through both. So continue that all the way down. I finished that row there, and you can keep repeating this, chain 1 and single crochet 10 down until you get to the desired length you want. Now I've made the desired size that I wanted, and what you're going to do is I like to pull this loop a little bit so I don't lose it, and you're going to take your scissors and cut a somewhat decent size tail to sew in your ends. Then you want to tie a knot here so it doesn't come loose. What I do is I go through my hole like this, take my tail end, pull it through, and pull it tight. Careful not to pull too hard or you'll pull your corner piece, but tighten it like so. This is where we're going to use our sewing needle. We can take our sewing needle to weave in our ends. Thread the needle like that, and then you're going to take your work and you kind of want to weave through a couple stitches here. I'm gonna do, I think I have about 5, and notice I'm kind of in the middle of my square between 2 stitches there. Take that, pull it through like so. Not too tight again or you'll pull your work. And then to make it extra secure, I like to go back. I'll skip that first spot I came out of right there and just go into the next one and go back. This kind of ensures that it's not going to come undone. That looks nice and clean. Take your scissors again and you can cut it right there, and I kind of just pull on it to hide that tail end a little bit. And then you're going to do the same on this side. Okay, so congratulations if you made it this far and have your own little square all done. If you have any questions at all about this process, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll try my best to get back to you. Otherwise, I hope you like this video. Please feel free to subscribe, like, share, whatever you want to do. I appreciate anything. You can follow along as I make more tutorials and share free patterns in the future on my channel. Thanks for watching.